On November the 23rd, 2024, at 12:31 p.m., these two young couples are seen in the CCTV footage entering this 3-star hotel named Royal Living, located on 12th Cross Road in Indiranagar, Bengaluru. Even though the video quality of both CCTV footage is not very good, it is still clearly visible that the girl is smiling and happy. The boy, wearing a cap, asks her to sit on the sofa in the reception room. After that, he goes to the reception counter and makes an online payment for room booking. Meanwhile, the girl sitting on the sofa behind is busy with her phone. After completing the check-in formalities and payment for booking a room, both finally head towards their hotel room. They only had 2 handbags as luggage and had booked the room for just 1 day. However, the next day, that is November 24th, when they did not check out by 11 a.m., the reception called their room, to which the boy said he wanted to extend their stay for 1 more day. The same thing happened the next morning, that is on November 25th, and once again, the boy extended the stay for another day. Now, there was nothing unusual about this because sometimes it happens that you end up staying longer than you initially planned. But the surprising thing was that except for the day they checked in, they neither ordered room service nor any online food delivery service for the past 2 days. Now, the date of November 26th had arrived, the day they were supposed to check out. But that same morning at 8:19 a.m., the same boy left the hotel alone while using his phone. Since he left without any bag or luggage, the hotel staff did not pay much attention. Almost 4 hours later, at 12:15 p.m., the person sitting at the reception knew that both of them had to check out that day, so he called the room's landline. But the phone kept ringing and no one answered. Then he called the boy's mobile number registered in the hotel records, but his phone was switched off. After this, a hotel staff member went to their room, knocked on the door, and even called out. But there was no response. Feeling suspicious, he decided to open the room with the master key, but surprisingly, the door was not locked, and as soon as he pushed the door open, a strong foul smell came from inside. Somehow covering his nose and mouth when he peeked inside, his soul trembled. The blood-soaked body of the same girl was lying on the bed. Without wasting time, he ran and informed the rest of the hotel staff. Within moments, police forces, forensic teams, and the media arrived, and in no time, this service apartment, a favorite of couples, turned into a crime scene. From the decomposition state of the blood-soaked body lying on the bed, it was clear that the murder had taken place quite some time ago, which is why the foul smell had started. Blood was also spread on the comforter on the bed and the floor. A mobile phone was lying on the bed, and a yellow nylon rope was found on the ground nearby. The police also found numerous cigarette butts in the ashtray in the room. From the identity proof found with the victim and the entry made in the hotel's register, it was revealed that the girl's name was Maya Gagoi Deka, who had come with a boy named Arav Hanoi, and that boy was now missing from the scene. While the police sent the body for post-mortem on one side, on the other side, they started scanning the CCTV footage of the building and surrounding areas. This is the same CCTV footage in which this girl named Maya Gagoi was last seen alive. She had no idea that the hotel where she happily came to spend time would become the place from where she would never return alive. 19-year-old Maya Gagoi's hometown was Kailashnagar in Guwahati, but she lived with her elder sister in a rented apartment in HSR, Bengaluru. After completing her studies at Handit College in Guwahati, Maya worked as a student counselor in an education consultancy firm located in Koramangala. Maya also had a channel where she reviewed beauty, makeup, and cosmetic products. Cheerful and lively by nature, Maya was the favorite of everyone in her family. In fact, on September 27th this year, she had gone to her home in Guwahati to attend a wedding. At that time, no one had thought that their daughter had only 2 months left to live, while on one side Bengaluru police was waiting for Maya's post-mortem report. On the other side, they started an investigation to find the culprit. As I mentioned earlier, from the decomposition state of the body, it was clear that Maya had died at least 2 days earlier. Maya's mobile phone, found lying on the bed, had also been switched off since November 24th due to a lack of charge. In fact, the last message and call on the mobile were also from November 24th. Now, since only Maya and Arav were in the room, the police started searching for Arav. From the preliminary inquiry, the police found out that 21-year-old Arav Hanoi was a resident of Thoptitatan in Kannur city, Kerala. Arav had shifted to Bengaluru this year and was working as an intern in a private company as a student counselor, earning a salary of 15,000 rupees. Arav's call data records were extracted and his mobile number was put under surveillance for tracking. From the hotel's CCTV, it was clear that Arav had left at 8:19 a.m. on November 26 without carrying any bag. However, where he went after that was revealed through the CDR, which showed that after leaving the hotel, he booked a cab to the railway station through a mobile app. But soon after, Arav switched off his phone. When the police inquired with the cab driver, they found out that he had dropped Arav at Majestic railway station. Arav's mobile phone was being turned on intermittently, probably to make online payments, and this was beneficial for the police. After leaving Bengaluru, Arav's location was showing in Raichur, North Karnataka. Therefore, DCP East D Divaraj formed 3 teams. One was sent to Arav's home in Kerala, where his grandfather, a retired army officer, lived. The second team was sent to Raichur, where Arav's last location was traced. The third team was collecting technical information. Meanwhile, Maya's post-mortem report arrived, and it was shocking. Maya had suffered deep injuries on her shoulders and head. Additionally, she had been stabbed more than 10 times in the chest with a kitchen knife, and one of those wounds was so deep that it became the cause of her death. According to the report, Maya had died on November 24th itself, meaning the day after she had checked into the service apartment with Arav. It was now believed that Maya had been murdered on November 24th. In such a case, Arav was the prime suspect. However, catching him was not that easy, because he was not staying in one place for too long and was using public transport for travel, so that the police could not trace his route. The accused from Kerala was reported to be on the run. From North Karnataka, he went directly to Madhya Pradesh, and then, after stopping in different cities of Uttar Pradesh for short periods, he finally reached Varanasi. From there, he called his grandfather and confessed that he had murdered a girl. One of the Bengaluru police teams had already reached Arav's grandfather in Kerala. His grandfather lovingly explained to him that running away was of no use, and how long could he keep hiding like this? So, it would be better for him to return to Karnataka and surrender. Arav had traveled more than 2,500 kilometers in the past 3 days, and now he was running out of money. Also, he was just a 21-year-old boy, not a professional criminal. So, accepting his grandfather's advice, he returned to Karnataka. Finally, on the morning of November 29th at 4 a.m., Bengaluru police arrested Arav from Devanahalli. This case is not as straightforward and crystal clear as it appears because, after Arav's arrest, when the police interrogated him, he immediately accepted that he had murdered Maya. But when the police asked about the motive behind this crime, he outright refused to reveal it, saying that it was his personal matter. Despite multiple attempts, the police could not get him to reveal the motive behind the crime. Araf would only call it a personal matter and remain silent. When Araf was arrested, his body language and mental state were unusual. Firstly, he had come to surrender himself, which obviously meant that he was already afraid deep down. Secondly, the case in charge DCP noticed that he was frightened, completely silent and withdrawn. So, to clear the picture of this case, the police changed the angle of interrogation and the format of their questions. The police first took Araf to the crime scene and then started questioning him about his personal life, his relationship with Maya, and the crime that took place in that locked room between November 23rd and November 26th. After this, the police got a much clearer picture of the entire case. Araf was born in Kannur, Kerala. His grandfather was in the army and had raised him. When Araf was a child, his parents got divorced. After the divorce, he lived with his mother. Then his mother remarried. The stepfather who suddenly entered his life did not bring love but trauma. This marriage also did not last long and they got divorced again. But Araf's childhood still had more pain written for him because after this, his mother got married for the third time. That was when Araf left his mother and went to live with his grandfather. Just 8 months before Maya's murder, in March 2024, Araf and Maya met each other through the dating app Bumble. At that time, Maya was working in Bengaluru while Araf was studying BBA in Kerala. But since he failed in several papers, he couldn't clear his BBA. After some time, Maya called him to Bengaluru and helped him get an internship in a private company. Since they were now in the same city, their meetings and closeness increased rapidly in a short time, and their friendship from the dating app turned into a relationship. Everything was going well between them until one day, Araf asked Maya to live with him in a live-in relationship. Araf thought that after being in a relationship for so many months, Maya would agree to live with him. But the opposite happened. Maya outright refused to live with him in a live-in relationship. The nature of Maya was quite extroverted, cheerful, and friendly, and because of this, her friend circle was also quite large. On the other hand, Araf was the complete opposite. He was just as introverted, and he didn't have any friends either, so he was alone even in Bengaluru. In fact, Maya was the first girl who came into his life, and she was his only friend and love. In such a situation, Araf started feeling very insecure. Coming from a small town like Thotada in Kannur, Araf was already struggling to adjust to the lifestyle of a high-tech city like Bengaluru. Plus, his childhood and upbringing were completely different from Maya's childhood and family. Both of them came from very different backgrounds. Araf was insecure about Maya's friend circle, especially her male friends, which led to increasing insecurity in his mind. Because of this, the restrictions he imposed on Maya often turned into fights. Araf didn't want to lose Maya either, so he asked her to live with him. Maya was already living with her elder sister, and in such a case, she didn't want to leave her sister and shift in with Araf. But Araf thought there was some other reason behind it. He told the police that he suspected Maya was talking to other boys and feared that she might leave him. Moreover, Maya's refusal to live with him disturbed him even more. After this, he requested Maya to at least stay with him for one day. Unfortunately, Maya accepted his insistence and agreed to spend a day with him at the hotel. She even lied to her elder sister, saying that she would not be able to come home at night due to an office party. This decision of Maya became fatal for her. On November 23rd, everything was normal when Araf and Maya were checking in. But when Araf was completing the formalities and payment for the room booking, Maya was sitting on the sofa behind him, busy on her phone. Araf told the police that even at that time she was chatting with someone on her phone, and this became the beginning of their argument. He not only questioned Maya but also advised her to use her phone less, and this led to a verbal fight between them. The war of words turned into a physical altercation. Araf already doubted Maya, and now seeing her reaction to his questioning, he became convinced of his suspicion. The boiling anger and the stage of life he was in started poisoning Araf's mind. On the evening of November 23rd, he ordered a kitchen knife and a nylon rope from an online delivery app. Then, using that nylon rope, he first strangled Maya and then stabbed her multiple times, ultimately killing her. The post-mortem report also mentioned deep injuries on Maya's head and shoulders, which indicates that she must have fought back against Arav. The fact that Arav stabbed her multiple times, causing multiple stab wounds, is referred to as overkill in forensic medicine and criminal psychology. This means that the injuries on the victim's body were far more than necessary to cause death. This also reveals a lot about the culprit's state of mind and motive, such as extreme emotional intensity, excessive anger, jealousy, or hatred. This usually occurs when the culprit has some unresolved personal conflict with the victim, just like Arav had with Maya. Secondly, it shows that the crime was committed in a fit of rage, meaning that the culprit completely lost control. This applies to this case as well because initially it was being called a pre-planned murder. It seemed that Arav had planned this attack, but if we look at the facts, that was not the case at all. Arav had not brought Maya there with the intention of killing her. That is why he correctly filled in all his personal details in the reception register. Even after committing the murder, he stayed in the same room with Maya's dead body for 2 days and kept smoking cigarettes. Arav told the police that he realized he had made a huge mistake. In those 2 days, he attempted to end his own life multiple times using the same nylon rope, but every time, his courage failed him. When the dead body started decomposing and emitting a foul smell, he got scared of getting caught and left the hotel early in the morning on November 26th. When he left, he had only 1,500 rupees in his pocket, which meant he couldn't run for long. In his statement, he said that he knew the police would first search for him in Bengaluru and then at his home in Kerala. To mislead the police, he first went to Raipur in North Karnataka, then to Madhya Pradesh, and finally reached Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh. Arav may have cited personal reasons when asked about his motive, but these revelations are enough to understand the root cause of this crime. Currently, Arav has been arrested under sections 103 and 238 of the BNS, and the police have made it clear that further interrogation will only be initiated after his psychiatric evaluation. Arav and Maya had a world of difference in their nature, personality, and upbringing. It is true that Arav did not receive love since childhood. His parents' divorce, his mother's 2 marriages, and a toxic home environment must have left deep scars on him. That is why he felt that everyone who came into his life would leave him one day. Perhaps this was why he was insecure that Maya would also leave him for someone else. However, none of these reasons justify an act like this in any way. Maya never imagined that Arav would take her life. She was carefree, just like anyone else in her place would be. This is because, at the back of our minds, we always assume that nothing wrong will happen to us. In the real world, no one thinks that the person they are spending time with or who is a part of their life could take such an extreme step. Maybe you have always had emptiness in your life, and then suddenly someone enters your life whom you start considering your entire world within a short time. You begin to feel that this person will complete the missing pieces in your life. But this is where you need to pause and understand that the world does not operate according to your thoughts and expectations. People will come and go in your life. Some will stay, and some will pass by. But the most valuable thing is yourself, your life, and your future. Therefore, do not take any step that will leave you with nothing but a lifetime of regret. So, this was today's case. Take care of yourself. See you soon with the next case.